name is Jure Kodzoman. I work for Informa. It's a company that basically started as a software development and internet marketing company. But recently we started working on a lot of our own projects. So since we experienced quite a growth in the past few years, there are some topics that weren't that important for our internal use that are important now. One of them is monitoring. So this is basically what we had internally 2 years ago. So we had a site in our headquarters in Ljubljana and we had a few servers in Coast Europe. It was fairly easy to maintain this. And we didn't need any advanced monitoring. We just had RCS log and sending in emails when something goes wrong. So what happened recently is we have a site in Slovenia, a site in Croatia, and a site in Romania. We have servers on Petsner, on Coast Europe, and some servers on Amazon. And it became really hard to look over it all the time. So we started looking at the solutions which would be more serious. We made a list of what we basically want to monitor. We wanted to monitor hardware, we wanted to monitor some of the OS stuff, database, denser, and web server. Okay, there's some other stuff that I'm not going to talk about, like PBXs, routers, and all that stuff, but that's not important for this audience. One of the main things that we wanted is end-to-end monitoring. So that all of this stuff is nice, but we really wanted to know how the customer sees the website. So is it online? Does it give the information that it should give? Is something wrong with it? And we wanted to monitor when something goes wrong, basically. So we looked at a few solutions. We used Nagios before. We still use it for some of our customers who have quite bigger setups. The problem with Nagios is it's kind of nasty to set up. It takes a lot of time. It's got an old graphical interface, which is really not user-friendly. It's got some really cool features like flapping support. So if the service goes up, on and off, on and off, on and off, it won't crash Nagios. Nagios will say just this is flapping. So he knows it's flapping. The others are not that good. Then we looked at Pingdom and New Relic. This seems to be very popular recently. The problem for us is their price tags. I mean, they charge like hundreds of dollars per server, so if you multiply that by 20, 30 servers, it's like, no, I'd rather spend, a month of work than using this stuff. There's also, I think, Isinga, which is kind of like a fork of Nagios. We looked at that, it was okay, but Zabbix turned out to be the best solution for us. It's got its problems. So it doesn't have flapping support, which turned out for us it's not that really important, so we just went with Zabbix. This is how it looks like. What's really cool about it stores all the historic data for all the stuff, so if your database goes down, you can see how the CPU was, what happened with memory, processor load, and what happened with network. It can be really useful. So if you see something's wrong with the network, there's a lot of network traffic, there's got like an unusual high amount of users. It's not just your CPU going crazy for no reason. So how does it work? Let's say you want to monitor a database server and a denser server. One important thing, if you just want to watch over HTTP or HTTPS or I don't know if the SSH service is up, you don't need anything else. You can just set up the Zabbix server and it can do external checks on seeing if the website is up and stuff like that. But if you want something additional, then you deploy Zabbix Agent. It's basically a service that runs on each of the servers and records and collects all the data. It's also really simple, kind of similar like for people who know Nagios. It's basically the same thing as in Nagios. You can write external checks. These checks can be written in any programming language you want, and as long as you adhere to the output has to be standardized. So you just run the external check, it has kind of an output that's good for Zabbix, and Zabbix collects the data from that external check you use. Sooner or later you need to do that because everybody has some custom stuff that they want to monitor. So this is You get this by default, basically. I don't know how many of you can see this, I guess not. But this is basically the checks. This is just more like the CPU checks. So it says CPU idle time, interrupt time, I/O wait, nice, bunch of stuff, and then there's the file system checks, the memory checks, and you get like hundreds of checks. You can turn them off if you want, but you get all of them by default. For us, this was really cool because it didn't require, a lot of setting up and checking what needs to be done. Just like by default, you get a lot of stuff. So what about the database? The database part is actually really simple to set up. You need to allow the Zabbix agent to access the MySQL or PostgreSQL. Depending on what data you want, you need to give it more or less access rights. So this is what you get with the database. This is just a default set. You can extend it on your own if you have some additional requirements. So you get begin operations, I don't know, commits, deletes, inserts, queries, slow queries. I think they're here, yeah, slow queries. I think we did this on our own, I'm not sure anymore. So this is all really useful. When something goes wrong, you can see when it went wrong and compare it to your log files, and then searching your log files, seeing where the problem began and where the problem ended. So what about Dancer, which is why we're here? With Dancer, we needed to decide on our own what we want to track because there are no pre-made templates for Zabbix like there are for MySQL or PostgreSQL. So we went with basically the most common problems that we encountered over time, and some of the stuff that was really easy to implement in Zabbix. So one of the things is number of workers on Starman. So if Starman crashes, we want to know immediately that it crashed because it's a huge issue. It means nothing works anymore, more or less. Another thing is we wanted to check if Dancer returns anything locally. So we have an external check looking on localhost if we get the right strings back from Dancer. It's like a next layer. After, if the Starman still works, you want to know if it works properly. And then monitoring the logs for problems. This is already shipped with Zabbix, so you just attach it to various log files on your host, and you say what you're looking for. You usually we don't look for all errors, we just look for errors that are like problematic, because people write code in different ways, and some errors are not really alarming, or they are part of old system which was stayed there, nobody removed it, or something like that. You can get email or SMS or whatever alerts through Zabbix. Another thing that was truly useful for us is the status page. So we basically made our own, like a Dancer page, which is only available through localhost, which returns us the statuses of the most common queries and the stuff that we do with the app. So it will say this went okay, this went okay, this went okay. So in case there's data corruption or something like that, or something was wrong, it will say something went wrong, although everything seems more or less okay. So we wrote an external check that just goes through this stuff and sees if everything is okay. If there's an error, it tells us there's an error, and then you go and see what actually the problem is. Big reason for this for us is remote APIs. So we do connect to some external services, and we didn't want to see, okay, the remote API works, but does it work with our app? So this information means much more to us. So if it doesn't work with an app, then we go to investigate. I don't really care if the API is up or not. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work. So, it's a problem. Another thing, as I said before, one of the main reasons why we chose Zabbix is the end-to-end monitoring. We really, really wanted to check how our site behaved from an external source. Zabbix, for this purpose, supports web scenarios. This was quite a discovery for us because it's really, really simple to set up. How it works, it basically fires up a session, and then you go through your typical procedure. This is like an e-commerce procedure. So, for example, you log in, you go to the login page, you send post data for login page, you go to product listing, you literally open the page, you select the product, you add it to cart, you do the checkout procedure. On each of these steps, you track the response codes, so if you get a 200, usually, or not, and you can match strings with regular expressions. So, yeah.
Does this use Phantom.js or something underneath for Java?
No, it doesn't use Phantom.js, unfortunately. Luckily, all of our websites work normally with like normal browsers, even the text ones and stuff. So this wasn't a problem for us. If you would want to use Phantom.js, which you would need if you have a lot of Ajax and stuff that you want to check, you can write an external check. But I'm going to talk about that in the end, just mentioning it. We don't really use it, but we are planning on using it because we do have some stuff that we want to check. So this is how it looks like in the dashboard, or whatever you want to call it, status page. So it tells you the download speed, it gives you the response time, response code, and it says if the string matched. And then you can track what was going on with it. So sometimes you will see like weird behavior here. You can also set how many checks it will execute. So you can say, I don't want a load time higher than 5 seconds, which we have like a website which we want to be fast. So we say 3 seconds, but do 4 checks. So it can be that for a few seconds it's just slow, so it will execute 4 checks or 5 checks, and then it will say in all 5 concurrent checks you were slower than 4 seconds, you have an issue. You can really fine-tune this to whatever you want and whatever is normal speed for you, depending on the page also, right? Some are slower, some are faster. One more thing, ABS. This stuff was cool, but we wanted a bit more. So I've heard that there's a free service. At the time I didn't know. So we utilized ABS health checks. Basically they give you for really like $1 a month or something. You can check from 20 different locations. We integrated this with our services, and the cool part about this ABS stuff, I just included this so in case somebody doesn't know. It really gives like a cheap failover. So if it goes down, you can just say route my DNS to some other server, which actually works. Our main purpose was that we have somebody else also checking if everything works in case something's wrong on our side or whatever. Something really, really weird starts happening. So, whoa, this was supposed to be a video, but that doesn't work. Yeah, whatever. That's right.
It's a moving picture, so it's a...
Yeah, so what we did, I'm just gonna talk about it. What we did on each of the racks, we put a tablet computer, and it has a dashboard showing what's going on with those servers. So if something goes down, I know it sounds kind of silly, and you don't really like need it, but sometimes you have a problem which will, like, I don't know, load is too high and then you just forget about it. You know, you get an email and you forget about it. But if there's a little red light blinking all the time, you know, it just keeps reminding you that this needs to be fixed sometimes. So, whoa. This one. Okay.
There are like blade centers and racks. Like now we'll have that Lincoln Light as well for some of their checks just because of that.
Yeah. It really works, and it's cheap because, you know, we bought like a 10-inch Lenovo laptop, Lenovo tablet, which is like $100, and it's got a slideshow. First, it looks really cool. Second, it has a speaker. No, it will sound an alarm if something goes wrong, which is even cooler. So it's got like a, you know, Mr. Robot effect to it. But okay. So I wanted to show you a video of it, but it doesn't matter. So where to go on from here? Back to serious stuff. This is what you need for basic monitoring, so it's really not hard to set up. It takes like a day or 2 days to set it up on dozens of servers. It's way simpler than Agios. I would never go to New Relic because if tomorrow you have 5 servers more, you have $500 more that you give to New Relic. Even if they get huge discounts, I'm sorry, it's just not like, it's too expensive for me for basically something that you can get on open source and you have full control of it. Writing custom checks is really, really simple. It's basically like you can write a bash script or a Perl script or whatever. Main thing is that you watch the system. So when something goes wrong, next time it goes wrong, you write a check for it. So next time it happens, you know it's happening before the user knows. We noticed that like Friday afternoon, its biggest value, because we wouldn't fix it until Monday, especially if it's some of our backend systems. People go home on Friday, they come back Monday morning to the office, and oh, this doesn't work. Now we can fix it, after hours, Friday or Saturday or Sunday. You have basically 3 days before everybody else comes back to work. Extending this, it's really good idea to, if you're not using it, it's a really good idea to start using one of the more modern, if you want to call it that way, log managers. We are using Graylog currently. It's really nice. So basically, it takes all of your log files, puts them in Elasticsearch, and gives you a graphical overview. So you search for a point in time, and it gives you on all of your servers, on all of your dancers, apps, whatever you want, what was going on. Graylog is the weird part is they have this Guelph stuff, Graylog extended log format or something like that, and you have to fine-tune everything to that. And Elasticstack has a bigger developer base and seems to work better, so we are slowly moving to this because it's way easier to use and it's got way more support. Basically, it's the same or very similar thing. So you just push all of your log files. You still keep them in syslog. You just send them to Elasticstack. It used to be called ELK before. And then you get a nice graphical overview of what's going on and all that stuff. It's really useful, like when you have monitoring, and then on top of that, when you figure out when the problem happened and that the problem happened, you go to analyze it. Other things which you should start using if you're not using is Wieslow and Confess. I've never used Wieslow, but it's been talked around a lot, so if you don't know about it, check it out. Confess basically does a performance overview of your loads on websites, but as opposed to what I showed you before, this also loads like the CSSs and all the stuff and shows you what the actual load time is. And produces a performance manifest, which if you want, you can connect it to Zabbix as an external check and then say, okay, the web scenario was okay, but I have some problems here, and it's really not that hard because it throws out a text file. So you just plug the text file to the Confess manifest and check if everything is okay there. So that's it. Any questions? Yeah?
Did you ever try check MK with Nagios?
Check what?
Check MK as an OMT distribution?
I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't. Shima is dealing with the Nagios stuff the last few years. I haven't touched it in years, and I never liked it that much. I mean, I know it's very enterprisey and cool, but it's just too much of config files for me.
So this is one of the things. The thing with check MK, basically just put it on a thread and it does most of what Zabbix does. And it has a really sweet check MK multi-site. So you can actually have it watching 15 Nagios servers, all the stuff in one cool.
Yeah, I think you can do that here too, but the Nagios interface is really not nice. It's very, very old and it's written in C. And
no, it's its own UI.
Oh, and CheckMK has its own UI.
I mean, still, at some parts it's a bit, I would say, not really super cool, but it's way better than the software.
Well, as I said, we like really the web scenarios part here because they're really, really simple to do. So that was also one of the deciding points to go with it. Any other questions?
This may be a bit of a stupid question, but is there some sort of meta monitoring, like checking that the checks actually run? Not just say, oh, everything's fine.
That's a really good question. Yeah, we had a problem that Zabbix doesn't know if Zabbix runs. This is the same problem with Nagios and all of these systems. So basically, if the database on Zabbix goes down, it will say I'm down. But the problem is if the server itself goes down, the stupid thing is you go to a web interface and it will say the server is down. So if why can't the web interface just send an email? Everything is down. How we solve this? It's not really. You don't have you could set up 2 Zabbix servers, which is what we ended up doing. So we have one at our customer site who checks if our internal one works, and ours checks theirs. But it's not, you can't get this feature by default. You actually have to write your own external check to do this. But it's not that hard. You just check if the server is running and that's it. Because if it is running, it will send an email. So at least that's our experience.
As long as the disk doesn't know that it uses these dynamic files. This is a pretty
Well, we have,
system.
yeah, so one of the systems watches everything on another system. So if this server goes down, it's down, we know it's down. Okay, my time is expired. I see a huge sign there saying -1 minute, so thank you.